But those remains do not belong to you. Although they will have his dignity.
There we go. Damn. There we go. Oh, we're in for a haul, folks. We're in for a haul.
Lord brother. At long last you are returned.
Useless fact, but did y'all know that the record for highest grossing R-rated movie, which was Joker, was broken yesterday by Deadpool Wolverine. Right now, Deadpool Wolverine comfortably at the top of highest grossing R-rated movies.
If you grieve for this world,
Like, it was Joker, Oppenheimer was a second. No, Deadpool Wolverine was like, nope, straight to first place within less than a month, which is pretty awesome.
Miquella,
I think it's funny too.
and my promised consort, Radahn.
I don't think it's gonna win any Oscars though, I'm gonna tell you that. Ooh, thank you. I got Urchi healed, nice. Thank you, man.
I promise
He grabbed me, but that's okay.
1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
I've seen Joker, haven't seen Oppenheimer, oddly enough. Ooh. They ain't joking when they say watch your stamina in this fight. Here we go. Here we go, down to the end game. How comfortable. Oh, we got this, folks. Yes! Shield poke for the win. Oh my God, that was awesome. That was, you know, again, Not the win you want, but the win you got. Whew, man. Ooh, chow. Look at all this terrain. Dude, that it was a good feeling, okay? Oh, the gray set's right here. Before we go into that. Oh man, I'm gonna enjoy editing this. Now, here's the sad part. Yeah, again, for the last time goes. This is probably the saddest part of this. They make it with you to the end, but they're all dead. Typical Miyazaki shit right here. Get the other hidden needle. All his gear. There you get. Mouse box stuff. There we go. Touch the memory. Now, for those of you tuning in for the first time and never made it this far, usually you get the "Let Us Go Together" gesture here, in addition to this. So here we go. I wonder if Miquella meant we as in him and Millennia, or him and Saint Trina.
Promise me you'll be my consort.
And that's forever been the thing, because everyone automatically assumes it's if we as in him and Millennia, but what if it was him and Saint Trina? Especially with the color of the memory itself, you know?
I'll make the world a gentler place.
Okay, Arya from Dark Souls 3. God damn. And you get the circle of light, of course. But I'll read this since I didn't get to do it in the video where I beat the mother fingers. Alright, mother fingers. The mother of all two fingers and finger creepers was in turn a magnificently gleaming daughter of the greater will, and the first shooting star to fall upon the lands between. Alright. So that's kind of wild. So now I don't need to get these because I have them both, but here you go. Staff of the Great Beyond, fashioned from the tail fingers of Metyr, the mother fingers, and a microcosm raised aloft over the crux they form, catalyst for casting both sorceries and incantations. The mother received signs from the greater will from the beyond of the microcosm. Despite being broken and abandoned, she kept waiting for another message to come. So, again, let's just recap a little bit, right? So if you remember, in the main game, the greater will forsook all the demigods, Marika, everything, and the lands between. But then the finger readers over here trying to lie to us to our face, saying, no, they haven't abandoned the lands between. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. We can do whatever the heck we want. Choose our ending. Choose our fate. Whatever we will. Right? They've forsaken us. They have forsaken, and not only that, the Greater Will hasn't even talked to Metyr, and therefore, whatever Metyr's been telling the two fingers across the lands between, basically they're just winging it. She's probably letting them know the last thing she heard before she was cut off from her daddy. So, what kind of God is that, right? Ain't that son? So then it's like, it's that's probably one of the reasons why Lunar Princess Ranni was like, how long are you gonna like put up with the with obeying the two fingers? You know what I mean? She had reasons aside from the fact that she wanted to slay her two fingers because she didn't want to be a puppet of the Golden Order, the Greater Will, because obviously the Greater Will just doesn't give a damn. And this right here just lets us know exactly what's up with that. Again, minimum requirements: 25 in intelligence and faith. Similar to the Sword of Night and Flame, where you need 24 of each. Here's 25. Again, when you start off, the scaling is only 175. But of course, as you max it out, through upgrades, and of course, the sorcery scaling does go up according to your stats. So, something important to really think about if you can use it. Now you got the Gazing Finger. Basically, it looked like Mother Fingers' head, right? The head of Metyr, the Mother Finger. I mean, the Finger Mother. It might as well be this as a head. So imagine this having a middle finger going. Wielded as a weapon without modification. From within the center of the fingerprint that wrinkles the creature's foremost protrusion, a tiny wart-like eye gazes vacantly into the beyond. The unique skill is Tower's Resentment. Skill performed as a violent bow using a finger's foremost protrusion. Resentment builds as it's forced to bow, making it explode with anger. Hold down the button to further increase the resentment. Oh, that's one way of putting it. Now, Remembrance of a God and a Lord. So make sure, and this is where I think it's fair. I think it's fair for the most part that you go to at least New Game Plus at bare minimum before you jump to the DLC, and here's why. Because when you're first playing Elden Ring, right? Remember all those mausoleums? There's like 7 of them, 6 or 7 of them. So at least out of the 15 Remembrance bosses that are in the base game, you can get at least more than half of those Remembrances items out of the way in your first playthrough. Second playthrough, for the most part, you can just get them all just by beating the bosses. You won't even have to use the mausoleums anymore. You won't even need them because you've already gotten at least the first item of each Remembrance boss. So at that point, you won't need the mausoleums, but you will need the mausoleums as well as the 3 Remembrance coffins that are in the DLC for when you go into the DLC. Because again, you got 10 Remembrance bosses, and then this asshole here has 3 Remembrance items. Not 1, not 2, 3. So it kind of makes it tricky. So let me first show you. Okay, Remembrance of Radahn, consort of Miquella, hewn into the shadow tree. In their childhood, Miquella saw in Radahn a lord, his strength and his kindness. Because, homeboy learned gravity magic and everything because he didn't want to crush his darn horse when riding him. Because he loved his horse. That stood in stark contrast with their afflicted selves. Now, the reason why Miquella says selves is because, remember, he is both himself, Miquella, and of course his alter ego, Saint Trina, which was his female half. And of course, the reason you don't get to see both of them working together is because, well, he discarded her near the Cerulean coast down that stone coffin fisher. And as a result, well, it's just a dude who has eternal youth and has a thing for Giga Chats, who happens to be his brother. I mean, if that doesn't have George R.R. Martin written all over for you, I don't know what else to tell you. And so Miquella made his heartfelt wish that Radahn would one day be his king consort. Look, man. Alright, so let's go with this. Great Sword of Radahn. Again, like before, it was more of a quality requirement when it came to strength and dex. Here is more strength than dex, but the same intelligence requirement. The scaling is kind of weird though, because again, I'm gonna get into it. Great swords of black steel wielded by Radahn in his youth. A pair of weapons decorated with a line mane motif. These were in his possession immediately before his triumph over the stars. The swords of a lord who does not rely on physical strength and gravity alone. Unique skill, Promised Consort. Imbue the two great swords with the light of Miquella, and deliver a slashing attack accompanied by columns of light. Additional input allows for up to 2 follow-up attacks. That's similar to the one where he's slashing and the lights are blasting at the same time. That's that one. Then there's the light one. Has light speed slash. Assume a luminous form and leap forward to deliver a downward slash at the speed of light. I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nothing fast about it. This attack will be followed up by an additional light attack. Charged to increase the power of the skill number of follow-up attacks. Now, I'm going to let you know right now, this version of the swords was complete dog water before the patch. When they patched it, it hits moderately well. But again, unless you're fighting enemies that are, Now, here's, again, my problem, right? Here's my problem with both these swords. I'm going to break it down in the most simple way possible. No clickbait, no bullshit. That ain't how I roll any damn way. The Star Scourge Great Swords, the regular ones, they make sense. Why? He's conquered the stars, and obviously there's magic damage, and it makes sense because he's using gravity magic. However, these swords, using Miquella's light, which should be holy damage, not magic damage. I don't know, From Software, you kind of dropped the ball on that one, because if anything, to make these swords worth truly using, what they should have done was split the damage between physical, magic, and holy. Problem is, I wouldn't have it scale with magic because of the fact that there's no real magic involved. It's holy damage. So if anything, instead of it scaling on intelligence, it should actually scale on faith. Right? In my opinion, though, this is just my opinion, I think what they should have done was have the light one have both the Promised Consort and Lightspeed Slash into one Ash of War, where it makes this big crazy combo, and then have the Lord one, right, where it does the Starcold Cry, but instead of the regular slam for the follow-up, let it be the Gravity Stone thing that Commander Gaius does that you saw in the fight that we had. It would make these two more distinguishable, make them a little different, and make it make sense. I have both of these. There's no reason for me to grab them. Now, Light of Miquella. Annihilates foes with a pillar of light. Now, if you have a reason to maximize, your faith stat, well, here's your excuse. The Strength of Miquella, upon his deific return, wielded as an incantation, annihilates foes with a pillar of light. Miquella sought to accept all that was and would be, but found one that refused to be embraced. Yeah, me. No wonder, as one God and one king consort is all the world needs. Now, here's my thing with this one. Alright, you guys know the Black Flame Ritual, right? Black Flame Ritual. It's Black Flame pillars around, and cool. Can hit hard, but it runs the risk of missing. Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike. Very circular, can really do some damage when you hit, especially with big enemies. Except it can also miss. Light of Miquella, for us, not so much for Radahn, has the exact same problem. If you're a faith build and you really wanna do some mess, hey, go for it. Go right ahead. But trust and believe that you're gonna run into the same exact problem. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm gonna take it because I don't have it.